Okay, so let's talk about something. You ever get that nagging feeling that you're kind of just a passenger in your own life? You know, that sense of being pulled in a million different directions, never really in the driver's seat? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into where that feeling comes from and, way more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Listen to this quote from a 17-year-old high school senior. "Nearly every minute of my day, everything I do, isn't what I care about." Wow. I mean, that just hits you, right? It's that exact feeling, your day just being run by everything but you. And it's a feeling so many of us share, whether you're a teenager already stressed about building a resume, or an adult just trying to juggle all the demands of life. Yeah, sound familiar? For a lot of us, it resonates so deeply because, well, it's just true. And here's the thing, this feeling, it isn't some kind of personal failure on your part. Nope, it's really a symptom of a much, much bigger problem. You could say we're living in what's been called the age of overwhelm, where the demands on our attention, on our energy, have just hit a boiling point. Let's make this feel a little more real. Picture this couple, Leslie and Josh. Their morning is just chaos, a total scramble. She's getting these urgent work texts while trying to get 3 irritable kids out the door, and he's feeling like the day's already a disaster before he's even left the house. Their home is basically a pressure cooker. And look, this isn't just about 1 or 2 families. The data here is, honestly, it's staggering. Get this, the World Health Organization has actually ranked the US as the most anxious nation on Earth. We're talking about 40 million Americans with a diagnosed anxiety disorder, and that doesn't even count the millions more who are feeling that intense strain every single day, just maybe not at a clinical level.
You know, anxiety is the official clinical term, but the word most of us actually use is just overwhelmed. And what does that feel like? Well, it's that confusion, that mental exhaustion, losing your focus, maybe even flashes of panic. It's that feeling that you just can't keep up with all the demands. It's basically a big flashing warning light on your mental dashboard. Okay, so this is the really crucial point. That feeling of being overwhelmed, that warning light, it's pointing to something way deeper. It's a symptom of a widespread loss of something called personal agency.
So if overwhelm is just the symptom, then what's the real problem? What's the actual disease that we need to treat?
The real problem is a loss of agency. So what is agency? It's your ability to act as an effective agent for yourself. To put it simply, it's about making your own choices and feeling like you're actually in charge of your own life. You know, like you're steering the ship, not just getting tossed around by the waves. Okay, so if losing agency is the problem, what's the solution? What's the antidote here? Well, it turns out the answer isn't just about trying to reduce your anxiety. It's about actively, proactively building something else in its place. And this is the big eureka moment, the reframe that really changes everything. See, we tend to think that if we can just get less anxious, then we'll feel more confident. But it's actually the other way around. Confidence itself is what fends off anxiety. Building your confidence, building your agency, that's the shield. It totally shifts the goal from just managing stress to actually building your own personal power. Now, the book we're drawing from here actually lays out 7 principles for building agency. We're not going to have time to go through all 7 in this explainer, so we're going to focus on the very first one, the big one. It's really the foundation that makes all the others possible, and it's all about learning to control stimuli.
So what does controlling stimuli even mean? It's pretty simple, really. It's about cutting back on the number of distractions in your environment. It's about taking charge of that constant flood of notifications, news, and noise that's always fighting for your attention. Basically, you're trying to increase your ability to choose where your focus actually goes. And think about what happens when we don't do this. Let's take a guy named Ed. His morning is spent with one eye on his son and the other one glued to his phone. He's absorbing all this news, all these work emails, and in the process, he's losing this precious, irretrievable experience of just being present with his kid. I mean, just look at the difference this makes. On one side, you have the high stimuli life that leads to tension headaches, feeling irritable, problems concentrating, sleepless nights. But on the other side, when you have a controlled stimuli life, what do you get? Improved thinking, better judgment, a sense of calm, less stress. The contrast is just, it's night and day. So how can you actually start using your agency to do this? Well, it's about making small, conscious choices. Maybe you visit a quiet space, like a library, or even a church, just to recharge. Or you could just put your phone in a drawer so you can be fully present. You could create screen-free zones in your home, or just cut down on all that background noise. These are small things, but they are powerful acts of agency.
So here's your path to agency. The most important thing to take away from all this is that getting your life back from that feeling of overwhelm, it isn't some big secret, it's a skill. And it's a skill that you can build one choice at a time.
And you gotta remember, people with high agency were not born with some special talent for this stuff. Not at all. Most of them have worked through years of trial and error to get where they are. This is all about learning from that and finding a more direct path for yourself.
So, that brings us to the final question for you. This isn't about changing your whole life overnight. It's about starting small, starting today. So think about it. What is one distraction, just one, that you are going to control today?